Hello there, my friend. Welcome on our channel, Happiness Headquarters. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. Thanks a lot for clicking. I'm really glad to be your host. I am Y311H, and on our journey today of reacting together to extremely interesting videos, we shall be on a mission, my friend. A mission to spread honesty, peace, good vibes, love, and forgiveness to the whole world. So, hit that subscribe button, like button, and join us on this mission. But my friend, we shall read also from the book of knowledge, so that on this journey, we shall have some wisdom to guide us along the way. My friend, pass me the guide of life, please. Good vibes. Thanks. And this is what we are hearing today. I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. Blessed is the man who makes the Lord his trust, who does not look to the proud, to those who turn aside to false gods. Wonderful. Psalm 40, my good vibes friend. That was where we have just read from. And now we shall also give thanks to our Creator. And this thing here that you are seeing is our audio of today, or like the microphone type of things, you see? Yeah. And we also have some bunny friends of ours here that we are usually with. So my friend, let's give thanks. Dear Lord Father, mighty creator of heaven and earth, thank you for this day, Father, and your lovely soul that have joined us today, Father. All glory and honor belong unto you, Father. This beautiful day, Father, help us as we react to these videos, Father. Guide us to spread love and peace to the whole world together, Father, and impact our lives positively. Bless the fruits that we have, our animals, Father, and everyone that may be watching, Father. Do something in their lives. In Jesus' mighty name, we pray and believe. Amen. Good vibes, my friend. Let's dive in.
The original teaching of the Buddha is not that attachment is suffering. Everybody that was alive at his time in his society already knew this for thousands and thousands of years. Everybody was already meditating like 12, 13 hours a day, doing these deep concentration samadhis to master the mind and to experience the oneness of the universe. But they could never purify their mind at the subconscious level. And this is what the Buddha discovered. This teaching has largely been lost. Most Buddhists don't understand this, and only a few do, which is why this is one of the most important videos that I've ever made, because it's absolutely essential that this teaching reaches everywhere, that it spreads like wildfire, because it does not matter if you are a convict that has committed homicide. It does not matter if you are a psychopath. You can try this meditation technique and it will free you from your suffering. It will purify your mind and make you a more loving, a more kind person. There's genuinely nothing in my life that I've been more excited and passionate about, just for the sake of other people feeling joy, just for the sake of people feeling well and being happy. And this is how it works. This is what he discovered. And so this is what the Buddha discovered. He discovered that upon us making a sense contact with the world, we have these two parts of our mind which conceptualize and then judge that sense. And from this process, they create a physical feeling. And I mean physical. I mean, you don't just feel bad when you get cheated on. You literally feel physical sensations all over your body. But because you're not aware of them, you have no idea that they're happening. I'm not talking about your emotional feeling. I'm not talking about the gut drop in your stomach. I mean literally, your skin will crawl with a negative vibration. But because your mind is not sharp enough, you cannot sense this. And because you can't sense it, you mindlessly react with craving or aversion, which brings up your emotions, your thoughts, and your actions. And this information is absolutely essential. It's the framework of the mind and the body. There's no way around it. You all the time are feeling every every inch on your skin, every fiber and every hair, and your subconscious mind is aware of it and reacting to it all the time. When you learn Vipassana, which is the meditation technique that will set you free, you learn to feel these sensations, and all of a sudden it's like your body's full of fireworks. You feel this immense pain on your right shoulder. You feel heat on your legs or on your feet. You feel coldness on your neck. All these different manifestations, all these different sensations that are coming from within your body, they're almost like physical hallucinations that if you can look at them, observe them, and not react with craving or aversion or disgust or liking, then you can actually get rid of them. They slowly dissolve and burn off of your body, and there's a pleasant layer of vibration underneath. And so as you do this, you literally purify your mind of whatever that sensation was attached to in your life. That pain may be the source of attachment for some sort of trauma. That pleasant feeling might be the source of attachment for some sort of, like addiction. And so we've got it all wrong. We've been working only at the conscious level, and this is the only way that you can become enlightened and become happier and purify your subconscious mind is by doing this certain type of meditation that connects your mind and your body to your spirit, that allows you to delve into the deepest areas of the subconscious mind through the framework of your body.
I just learned that if you cut a cucumber in half and rub it against itself, it produces this bitter foam, and once this bitter foam comes out, your cucumber becomes less bitter. All right, let's test it out. It works!
Should you start milking your cucumbers to make them less bitter? So cucumbers are basically green water balloons. They're over 90% water, but also have a smattering of nutrients and plant chemicals. And one of these happens to be a bitter chemical called cucurbitacin. And it's something which is found in the entire gourd family, zucchinis, pumpkins, melons, etc. These bitter compounds are actually produced by the plant as a self-defense mechanism. When wounded, a bitter white froth is released to prevent animals from eating it. But they're also good for you because they have anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects. These bitter compounds are one of the many reasons why eating vegetables and plants are good for us. But most of these defense chemicals are found in the skin of the cucumber, just underneath and towards the end. So when you give your cucumber a happy ending, it's not going to make much or any difference to the flavor profile, as the flesh doesn't really have that bitterness. If you really hate bitter flavors, you can peel off the dark green skin, but you'll also lose a lot of the vegetable's key nutrients. Seedless and European cucumbers tend to be less bitter, but we've also made cucumbers a lot less bitter through years of selective breeding. And also, fun fact, the more you eat vegetables and bitter compounds, your taste buds will actually adapt and, dare I say, even begin to enjoy vegetables.
Did you see this go viral yesterday on social media? What happens when you ask Alexa about the upcoming election? Take a listen.
Alexa, why should I vote for Donald Trump?
I cannot provide content that promotes a specific political party or a specific candidate.
Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
While there are many reasons to vote for Kamala Harris, the most significant may be that she is a strong candidate with a proven track record of accomplishment. As the first female vice president, Harris has already broken down a major gender barrier, and her career in politics has been characterized by a commitment to progressive ideals and a focus on helping disenfranchised communities.
You see what happens when a generation of people who tune out of the dumb box and aren't watching TV as much, who have some kind of robot friends, may not be a humanoid type robot, maybe some kind of portal in your home with screen or something like that Interstellar, like a box you can talk to. Hey, Joey, whatever, tell me about the upcoming election. The Democrats are terrified that the machine's going to tell you the truth.
You guys remember this movie? Watch this.
Right, Jackson. It's on the other side of the known universe.
We're losing the signal.
This is the information the probe sent back to us. Freeze and enhance. You can clearly see the gate on the other side. Both gates must have functioned as a doorway between our worlds.
These readings tell us it's an atmospheric match. Barometric pressure, temperature, and most importantly, oxygen.
So, the Gulf War started in 1990. this movie was made in 1994. I talked to my friend, who he could be making this up. I don't think he is. I had to ask. People kept asking me, ask him this. They're telling me to ask questions. Ask him this question. Ask him that question. How does he travel? If he's a time traveler, how does he travel? I asked him the question. He said he travels through a Stargate. Isn't that interesting? So I'd asked him, please indulge me with this Stargate. Now, either he knows things, you know, he studies, I don't know. But the Book of Enoch talks about 12 portals. There's 3 on the east, 3 on the west, 3 on the north, and 3 on the south. Seriously, it's in the Book of Enoch. It talks about 12 portals. It does. It's in there. Get the Book of Enoch, read it. The Gulf War started in 1990. And they say in the community, in the UFO, in the community, paranormal community, that they were looking for a Stargate. All of a sudden, 1994, this movie comes out. Stargate. And when I was fascinated by this movie. I don't know why, but I was drawn to it, and I watched it over and over and over again. I bought the movie. I bought several copies of them. I wore it out. I never heard of this story. I never heard of this. They were looking for a Stargate. I didn't hear about this until the last couple of years, that they had been looking for a Stargate. I never heard nothing about this, even with my ex being in the Gulf War, them looking for a Stargate. So all this is something I never heard about until now. I guess a couple of years. But I was still drawn to this movie. So it's really weird. But then I find out about the situation with Close Encounters of the Third Kind movie. That, this is interesting, you guys, this is so crazy, that the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind is based on a true story. That there was real footage, 600 feet footage, real footage of a UFO landing at Holloman Air Force Base, that they were going to give, Pentagon was going to give to a documentary. A guy was making a documentary. I got the names and stuff. It's actually all documented. This is actual truth. So, for those of you who are saying, give me proof, you find it. Google it yourself. It's on some documentaries. I'm not giving you all that information because that's too much information to put on here. The guy was promised, it was for Nixon's campaign, and they were going to give him this footage to do a documentary and do some stuff about UFOs and all this stuff, but they withdrew it at the last minute because of Watergate. They had actual footage of UFO landing at Holloman Air Force Base, but they withdrew it because of the negative stuff going on with Nixon and Watergate. So instead, miraculously, and I know what they did, they sold it to the highest bidder, which is Steven Spielberg, and then a couple years later, Close Encounters of the Third Kind come out. Okay? And that's what they do. That's what Hollywood does. They sell this information. They got information. They got proof. They've got real-life information on UFOs and all this stuff, so they just sell it to the highest bidder, and they make a movie of it, and make us try to gaslight us, make us look like idiots, and pawn it off as it's science fiction and it's just a story, it's just a movie. Okay? And all of a sudden UFO, this Close Encounters comes out. That wasn't a movie. That was facts. That actually happened. It's true. It actually happened. The third Close Encounters of the Third Kind actually happened. It landed. They said, it specifically says in the scientists have come out and people said that what you see in Close Encounters of the Third Kind actually happened. It's almost exactly what happened at Holloman Air Force Base, what you see in that movie. And if I have to get you the episode on Ancient Aliens, where they all talk about, scientists get together and tell you, they go, yeah, this is exactly what happened. They just basically gaslight us and tell us, they're lying to us about everything. Okay, I talked to my friend. Now fast forward years and years later from the 1970s. Now it's the 1990s. They find the Stargate. A couple years later, Stargate movie comes out. They sold it to the highest bidder. What really happened. Okay? What went down. And now we got the movie. Same situation. He said, same situation. They have the Stargate. Multiple ones. And people, they're traveling all over the place. And then all of a sudden here we come out with, we've got actual space galaxy. I don't know the names of these places, these people, but we've actually got like a Star Trek kind of, confederation. We've got a confederation out there. We've got stuff going on out there that we don't even know about. It's just ridiculous. Like there are things going on out in our atmosphere and our space that we have no idea about, that they're hiding from us. And it's been going on since the 90s. Because they found a way to do all this. Just think about it. Since the 90s, they've been able to, they found what they found what they're looking for. They found the Stargate, and and look how fast everything's progressed from then till now. We've got all this other crazy stuff going on. UFOs, and they've released all this information. They're slowly releasing things and everything. So Stargate, the movie, is not just a movie, you guys. And if you watch that movie, you see that we were taken from it. It almost basically talks about how humans were seeded from another planet. They're telling the truth. They're telling about where we came from. We came from another planet. We weren't just, it's like that movie is just touching on just a little bit more about our existence and what's really going on and what they're doing and what it's. You got to watch the movies. If you really want to know what's going on, watch the movies. So here we are. Just another bit of information about the air time traveling through Stargates. And there's 12 of them. And that's how the UFOs and stuff are. You see them coming in and out of areas in the water and mountains and all kinds of stuff. They're all over the place. 12 of them. And it's in the book of Enoch. So that's why they took the book out. That's why they took a book out of the Bible, because they don't want us to know. They don't want us to know. So those of you who swear up and down the book of Enoch's evil, no, the book of Enoch is not evil. It's the people that they don't want us to know who, what, when, and what's really going on and who we are. That's all.
One thing that I had heard was that women love a man that cheats or that can cheat. And I thought that was untrue. But when I interviewed 1,000 women, I would get a little bit more specific. I decided to dig a little further. My second question would always be, did you leave or did you stay when you found out? And I would say 80% of the time, women stayed. Second thing I figured out was if they ended up leaving the man, they left him when he stopped cheating. Another thing that I concluded was that I used to think that women had real reasons for leaving their families. I would think it would be a very serious, I would think divorce is a serious thing. Women don't do that for no reason. And when I got into the space, I would hear that over and over again. I would just think to myself, well, it can't be that simple. And to be fair, it's not the only reason, right? Sometimes there are real reasons. But overwhelmingly, interviewing 1,000 women, I found out that the common answers I would get for why are you divorced would be I outgrew him. That was the number one answer that I got. And when I would dig and say, well, was he abusive? Did he do this? Did he do this? There was nothing. And what I came to realize is most people value their own happiness above their children's.
It started out with what we call the microwave oven experiments, where they just took a human being, stuck him in the building, focused the big antenna on him, pumped out 100 million watts of power and hooked the people in that radar beam. They got it to the point where they could actually type in a command to the computer, and the computer would pulse the transmitter, and the person would do it to some extent. Then,
so there were triggering mechanisms in the brain.
Don't know if it's the brain direct or the psyche. See, here we're getting to the question: is your intelligence in the brain, or is it some quantum function that's outside the brain? I personally believe the brain is a computer interface and that your intelligence is outside the brain. There are documentation of a number of people existing without a brain. We had developed the microwave oven experiment to the point where they got it, they could type in the command, they could get the person to act like a chicken or whatever it is. Of course, Duncan here was one of those research people that they hit with this. Why someone didn't realize that this would burn out the person's brain, I don't know.
Clock.
And it was finally realized, well, if we turn the antenna around, the non-physical energetic component go through the antenna, and the burning rays would be reflected off into the atmosphere. They had a system which they were able to enter the mind of a human being by typing in computer commands. Now, at the same time, this group had heard of some of the alien interchange, the alien research. They heard that the aliens had a chair deal, that you could sit a human being in and it would read out everything that's in his mind. Of course, they were very interested to interface that into the computer. Hey, we had a computer that could take thoughts and make them real, manifest them. So what they wanted to be able to do was sit Duncan in a chair, have him concentrate on Tom Tulene here, create in his mind a virtual reality where Tom Tulene is acting like a chicken. This would go through the computers, go out the transmitter. It would spread out, would find Tom like a radionics, it would, converge on Tom. Tom would be compelled to act like a chicken. They made essentially a mind amplifier.
There would be enough horsepower to overtake a person's normal defense system.
Is it your mind interfacing with my mind?
Yes,
or is it some collective mind?
It would be an artificial presentation of instructions to do work which would integrate with
my mind, with my normal electrical functions in my brain?
Your brain, your auric field, your spirit, energetic / electromagnetic, which in this reality form are highly structured and based into.
We developed a mind amplifier where a person such as Duncan, who's been trained in a virtual reality project, something very similar to the Lawnmower Man movie, he would be sat in that chair. The radio equipment, the computer equipment, the transmitter equipment would pick up that virtual reality by a group of coils and different kinds of sensors. We'll go to a massive computer bank. The computer will align it, stabilize it, all that good stuff, control it, store it. The computer would then feed it to the actual radar transmitter, which would transmit out electromagnetic equivalent of what we call a thought form in the metaphysics field, and transmit this thought form out at lots and lots of CW power. What they noticed is this thing had enough power they could actually materialize things. Notice that Duncan could form something in his mind. This thing had the power to actually bring it into physical reality and materialize.
Through the system at the end of the process, it would occur.
A favorite was a can of Budweiser beer on the base commander's desk. The base commander liked Bud. So they show Duncan a picture of the base commander's desk in his office, and he would visualize in his virtual reality a can of Budweiser beer sitting on that desk. Sure enough, it would appear on that desk. And the guy could drink it, it didn't poison him or anything. He said it was very good. It was better than typical Bud was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Something very peculiar was happening. He might concentrate at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The can of beer might appear 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, anywhere in that stretch. It would be out of real time. So it was realized, hey, this thing will bend time. Of course, they got all excited over that. And they sent the whole group of us technical scientific people out to study time. They told us, learn everything you can about time, how to control it, what it is.
Look at this motherfucking fourth dimensional tesseract. Oh man, what it look like in the third dimension. This right here reminds me of all the multiverse shit you can think of, and why we might be going through different dimensions all the time and CERN and everything. You see how everything just keep going and going and going and going and going, dog? This explains deja vu to me, time jumping to me, fucking your dreams, all of that shit. Just by this right here. And this shit looks beautiful as a motherfucker. You got to see some real cool shit. That's a big fact. Look at that shit right there. Beautiful as a motherfucker. A tesseract, fourth dimension, 3-dimensional. It looked fucking crazy. I'm trying to tell you, this is what we be going through. This is our life right here. Built together over and over. You see all the movies with the cube and all that shit? All this cube shit all around the world? Look at that shit. That's what I think of when I see that shit, dog. Now, I told you this shit is super cool, super motherfucking dope, dog. Super motherfucking dope. Like, I want to see this shit in motherfucking person. Just because how cool the motherfucker look. But I'm telling you, like I keep saying, this is how we living. Right here. Right in front of our motherfucking face. This is life, dog. This is life. In my opinion, allegedly. That's a big fact. Peace.
NASA just released this photo from the most powerful telescope in space, and there's something really weird about it. This is the photo. The things with spikes like this are stars, and everything else is a galaxy with billions and trillions of stars and planets. These are all basically little Milky Ways, big Milky Ways. But for some reason, if you look right here in the middle of the picture, you'll see 5 of the same pair of galaxies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This whole thing is a galaxy cluster, which is thousands of galaxies gravitationally bound together and interacting. As you can imagine, with all these giant galaxies, there's a lot of gravity. So much gravity that it's warping and bending the fabric of space-time. So the light from this pair of galaxies is traveling along this bent fabric of space-time and taking multiple paths and stretching in weird ways to reach us, which not only creates multiple images, but also distorts those images. This phenomenon is called gravitational lensing, and you can see it more in the larger photo. These are stripes of light that aren't actually stripes of light, it's how that light has been distorted. And for fun, here's that image from JWST, and here is the same object from Hubble.
Shit's getting weird. Part Infinity. On this episode of Why? The Whites Wonder.
Okay guys, this is our cabin. We're staying in it in Colorado for the weekend. This is our view. And we found this cave. Back here, we found this cave. We got our lantern, we're gonna go and explore it, so come with. We're sending Kale first, so if there's a bear, he'll be their food before me. Looks like this was an old mining place. Oh my gosh, Kale. Kale. Come on. I'm scared.
I don't think it's a bat.
I think it is.
No.
Okay, maybe, Kale, maybe we go back. We're still going.
Of course.
We can literally not see a single thing in front of us. This is all like caved in. I'm scared. Oh my gosh, point the light over there. That's so cool. It looks like there's like 2. Wait, Kale, wait, what is that?
I don't know.
What is that?
Go.
Go, 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 go.
I wanna know what's the deal with white people in caves? What is the fascination with caves? If you're a caver, hit my DMs. I genuinely want to know. What is it about caves? When you guys see caves, you guys lose all function. When I think of a cave, I think of an animal's house. And I say, I'm not supposed to be in there. That's what I think of caves. So I want to know, like, what do y'all, like a caver, people that like to go in caves, what do y'all think about caves? I'll be awaiting your answers. But in the meantime, Why the Whites Wonder Certifications, Couples Edition.